The Bible tells us, under no uncertain conditions, that the world was repopulated after the flood by the three sons of Noah. It provides us with the names of Noah's sons: Shem, Ham, and Japheth, which is really a later editor's, or maybe the original writer, who was reading back into his edition of the creation by projecting what he thought constituted the races of men at that time. Evidently, he saw the world being comprised of three races. But anyway, one of these sons of Noah, the one called Ham, the Bible informs us was the father of Cush, and that this Cush became the father of Nimrod. Now the Bible informs us that he was a mighty hunter. In other words, he was a legend, a legendary personality. But that he founded the very first civilization after the flood, and is what is now misnomered the Near East. That the first of his kingdoms was Babel and Iraq, which is Iraq, and Akkad and Calneh and the land of Shinar. So, through the Bible's explanation of how the world was repeopled, we find that what has been defined by modern white scholarship as the Middle East was really a geographical area that was founded, at least the civilization was founded by Nimrod, who is supposedly representative of the black African race. One of the problems we have with our understanding of who the people of the so-called Middle East were during biblical times and pre-biblical times was because of the misinformation that has been consistently bombarding our minds from those who oppress us from outside, that Northeast Africa is not Africa at all. And to prove that, there's a division called the Suez Canal, which projects everything north and east of Africa as distinct from Africa. However, Africa, the so-called Middle East, India, Vietnam, all of Southeast Asia, at one time in history, peopled nothing but Cushites, Negroes, Negroids, Negritos, black people, but now have changed morphologically because of the northern invaders who were essentially melaninless and consequently became lighter in their complexion in some instances and other morphological changes. However, the point is, before the northern invaders, there was a band that swept around the equator of the world. And the people within this geographical area gave civilization to the world, and they were of African origin. Of course, DNA and environment brings about changes in people, and this is what has occurred in Northeast Africa as the so-called Indo-Europeans swept down on these civilizations. Babylon, Samaria, all of this, Mohenjo-Daro, Harappa, India, and pushed all of the Hamites, the Africans, the Ethiopians, the Cushites, the Negroes, the Negritos, the Coons further south, and where they met and overlapped has been defined by Sheikh Anta Diop as the zone of confluence, and consequently the people we call Semitics, all the stands, are mixed people between blacks and the returning blacks who had gone up to what is now defined as Europe and Russia, became bleached out and now are returning back towards the warmer climates, bringing death and destruction and chaos in their wake. But once we get an understanding that what they call the Middle East now is an illusion created with smoke and mirrors of the Suez Canal, which causes Northeast Africa to appear separated from the main body of Africa. But this is a trick to keep you further divided and to keep them in control. So I thank you for listening. Hope in some way I have, if not shed some light in your mind, at least turn the key a little bit in the lock and cause the lock to open, and maybe the person who follows me with other information and advice will be able to get through and bring this light to you. Thank you.